Lisa with a love note for February 17th. Hope you're having a great day. So today, the guys wanted to talk a little bit about complaining, because so many of us love to hear complaints, love to be around complainers, and so many of us are sometimes the ones doing the complaining. So drama in our lives. And they just wanted to bring more awareness around this today. Now, interestingly, I was in a coaching group today where this actually came up. One of the guest speakers in the group was talking about this, and her phrase was so great. She said, "Beneath every complaint is a true desire." And what the guides were basically talking about today is that complaints, when we love ourselves enough to actually look beyond the surface of our own complaints, to see what it really is that we desire, that we need, that's missing from our lives, that can be an incredible tool for self-awareness. Just complaining is kind of a crappy energy that often, is rooted in some kind of an expectation that may or may not, you may or may not even be aware of, that may or may not be communicated to someone else. And what is that expectation? What is that desire, that need, that underlying thing that the complaint can actually open a door of awareness for us to see? So, the guides today, they said, when we take a moment to explore more deeply why we are complaining and what it really represents, we have the chance to hit on what we actually crave, desire, or need. Recognizing our own complaints can be a way to enhance our awareness of what feels like it is missing from our own life. Everything we are reacting to outside of us is a reflection of something being triggered inside of us. So the question is, what is it? What is it? Our complaints can actually start being an invitation to lean in and see and actually do the introspection, the work to see, what is it I really want? What am I desiring here? What do I think I need? What do I want? And actually know what that is. And then maybe even, ask for it if it's something that comes, from someone else, or give it to yourself if it's something that you want from yourself, but really knowing what is that underlying desire. I've told the story before about life with dad. And one of the things that dad has really helped me do is understand more the nature of unconditional love, and how every time I see myself wanting to judge his decisions, his actions, his words, his whatever, I view it as an opportunity to love him more, an invitation to love more. And it's kind of the same with complaints. Can we view our own complaints, A, first be aware of them, that we're complaining, but then B, view it as an invitation to lean in and see, what is this complaint actually a reflection of? What can I actually learn from this? What is it really trying to tell me? Because we have to become aware of what it is before we can expect it to be met, either by ourselves or by someone else. The other people aren't reading our minds. Hi, Robbie. Yes, thank you for that. I'm glad you're here and watching. And the guides also said, but don't think that just because you have a complaint or an underlying desire that that it's going to be met. And so that's one of the things too. We might be complaining about an unmet expectation, an unmet desire that's unrealistic. And so if we are attached to an unrealistic outcome, and we're causing ourselves stress or drama or being triggered and emotionally reacting to that, if we become aware of it and then realize that maybe it's not realistic, maybe it's not going to happen, or at least not right now, or not in the way we thought, then we can detach from that expectation that it has to look a certain way or be done a certain way or whatever. And that can actually bring greater peace and joy into our own lives. So much of what the guides talk about is about shifting our energy, having the opportunity to move from lower frequency type energy, which complaining and that kind of drama really is more lower frequency type energy, and shifting, transmuting that into something that's higher frequency energy, something that feels better, that's higher on the level of, conscious awareness. And so part of our opportunity is using our own complaints, how we are triggered, as an invitation to open the door and look more deeply at what it is we really desire or crave or want or need. And then once we see it, once we're aware of it, once we use that self awareness as a powerful tool, we can then decide, we're more equipped to decide, what do I do with this? Is it really that important? Do I really need to be complaining about it? If it's something you've been complaining about for years, self-awareness is needed, right? Because obviously something is not changing in the external world. So maybe the expectations in the internal world is what needs to change. Or, really investigating the desire. Is there another way for that desire to be met? Is the desire, is that really, what the core is, that's the concern or the problem? They said, even our complaints can be a tool to inspire a higher energetic response. Love yourself enough to look beyond your triggers and see what they're really telling you, then adjust accordingly. Because whatever's triggering us in the external world is actually an invitation for us to look more deeply at our internal world and kind of deal with it. If we're not willing to look, if we're not willing to move toward that self-awareness, then we'll never be in a position to quit complaining, or quit feeling the trigger, or to quit contributing to the drama, because we won't even know what the underlying situation is there. So the idea today, beneath every complaint, there's a true desire. Your desires actually matter. In the work we're doing in the sacral class, the Reclaim Your Inner Flame class, a lot of what we're talking about is desire, is passion, are those needs. And it's okay to have desires, to have passions, to have needs. It's totally, that's part of being human, right? Recognizing what they are, being willing to decide, is this really important to me? And if so, how am I going to go about making it happen? Often when we're complaining, it's about external circumstances or external actions by other people that we have very little control over. So how can we take that power back? How can we take control of our response and our trigger back? By looking inward, seeing what's really going on, and then seeing how we can step up and, meet our needs or work to have those needs met in a realistic way. And that makes sense. So there you go. That's what they were talking about today. Complaining, typically negative drama energy that doesn't contribute to the upliftment of the planet. Us doing our inner work where we're not as easily triggered, and that we recognize what our needs are and have opportunities and ways to have those needs met, does help contribute to the upliftment of the planet. They simply say, love yourself enough to recognize that, know that you are always loved, and pay that love forward. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.